I'm Kate Peck and welcome to the AusMoto Show, where we bring you the best in Australian motorcycle racing talent. We're pretty much halfway through the Motorcycling Australia calendar and the racing has been brilliant. There is so much to bring you up to speed on, so sit back, relax and enjoy. Coming up on today's show, KTM's Desert Champs, two of Australia's most decorated off-road racers, Ben Grabham and three-time Finke Desert Race winner David Walsh, join us to chat about the 2023 Finke. From the Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores, we catch up with Honda Australia Factory Racing Team Director Yarrive Konsky. He shows me where the action happens at his Honda race team setup. And from the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul, the dynamic duo of racing legend Jamie Stauffer and his Superbike racing offspring Max Stauffer. Remember to follow along on socials using the hashtag AusMoto Show and send us in your riding pic. First up from Team KTM, off-road racing legend Ben Grabham and three-time Finke Desert Race winner David Walsh. Boys, welcome to the studio. Grabbo, we're going to start with you. How did you two connect originally?
Yeah, thanks, Kate. It's going back a few years now. It was my first year with KTM, 2009. We were teammates, so obviously we knew of each other earlier in the early years, but that's the first time that we crossed paths, and he was the rookie on the team with what was meant to be the bright future ahead of him, and I was in what I class as my prime and getting paid to win the race, and yeah, that was our first time of crossing paths.
Was Grabbo a rock star rat bag?
He was definitely the rock star back in the day. It was cool to be a part of the team that he was on though, and try and learn some stuff from him, although he kept most of his secrets pretty close.
Hopefully he's revealed some of them now. We've got Finke coming up, obviously. Well, it's your specialty. How would you describe Finke to someone at home that doesn't understand the concept of the race or doesn't know about the race?
Finke is just like it's a 2-hour sprint basically. It's high speeds, lots of dust and big bumps, but it's a lot of fun.
How hard is it to put together a win?
It was definitely very difficult. I mean, I was racing against some pretty fast guys back in the day with Grabbo and Toby as well. But I mean, now I feel like once I've got that one win, it's been a little bit easier. You've got the track knowledge and sort of know what it takes to be on the top spot.
Grabbo, what makes this race so unique? Is it kind of like Baja? Is it internationally renowned?
It is now. It always has been known overseas, but I would say since Toby won Dakar, there's a lot more eyes on Finke since then. It's pretty well known around the world, and it's so unique. Like, I've raced a lot of desert races around the world, and nothing compares to Finke. It's like constant high speeds, and it's just torture on your body. Like me and Toby, we explained it years ago, where it feels like you're hanging off a cliff while someone's hitting you in the lower back with a cricket bat, and that's the best way of saying what our body goes through if you're going fast around that 2-hour mark, whereas most poor buggers are out there for 3 to 4 hours, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a long day for them boys.
I bet. And not everybody finishes either. No. Walshy, you've been doing this for about 15 years now, racing the Finke. Do you remember that first win of yours in 2019? Was it an emotional win?
Yeah, very emotional. I've been working so hard for so many years to try and do it, and to finally get it and tick it off the list was, amazing. I never thought I'd be at the pointy end, and lucky enough to win. So I was, very, very happy with it.
What about you, Grabbo? Because you've taken some wins there before. Do you remember your first one where you stood on that top step?
After my first go, I didn't ever expect to be standing on the top step. So when I did get there, it was a bit of a relief, and super memorable, that's for sure.
What does the preparation entail? Or do you just know it so well because you just live there on track the whole time?
Yeah, I do a lot of time down the track, which helps being a local. But yeah, it's just a lot of kilometres on the dirt bike and trying to get as bike fit as we can leading into the race.
Yeah. Grabbo, you're one of Australia's most decorated off-road riders. What has been a pivotal time in your career or an achievement that you remember really fondly?
Yes, I've raced a lot of different disciplines, and and had some good success in all the Aussie championships and that, but Fink's always been the unique one to me, and it still is. Like, I'm still racing there and still trying to stay at the front, and it's just a huge event, and like, it's just, I guess it is the speed, and it's just it's an adrenaline rush that's different to everything else we do on the bike.
I want to talk a little bit about Dakar, because you went over, you achieved pretty incredible results for your debut year, 15th in 2013, I think. And you were only 8 months after breaking your back. What happened with your back? And tell us about the Dakar experience in itself, because I feel like it's every off-roader's dream to get to Dakar.
Yeah, we'll start with the injury. Like, I've had a pretty good run really on motorbikes, but I had a altercation with a kangaroo at another rally event at Kondo 750. Broke my back and ribs and collarbone and lung and wrist and all the hoo-ha that goes with it. Had plans to do Dakar that year, and I thought they were out the window, but luckily KTM and a lot of good sponsors stood by me and had the chance to go there and tick that one off. And yeah, I had a finish, which was probably an achievement in itself, coming off a broken back, but it's another crazy event. Like, it was 2 weeks on the motorbike, longer than anything I'd ever done before, and just the elements, the way they draw the event out, and the map reading, everything. It's very mentally draining, and it's hard, and yeah, it's nice to have ticked that one off.
When you see Toby Price over there and Chucky doing pretty well, I mean, obviously Toby's done incredibly well. Are you amazed? Because it's not just the riding, it's the navigation. There's so much that goes into getting to the end of a Dakar and putting together a successful campaign. Yes,
I am, but more so Toby at the moment. Like, he's pieced it all together multiple times and still is at the front. So it's pretty impressive what he's done. Chucky's yet to get there. He showed he's got the speed and everything. He's just got to find a few more pieces of the puzzle. But it's just nice to have Aussies. I know we've had them at the front before, but these guys are racing for the win and doing us proud, and it's nice to have them that time of year sit down and watch them on TV and follow them.
Yeah. Walshy, did you think of going to Dakar ever? Take some Fink skills over?
Oh, I'd definitely love to. There was a sort of an opportunity to do a rally in China, which I was sort of keen to do, but it fell through in the end. But yeah, it would also be awesome to get over there and give it a crack and see how we'd go.
There's still time, isn't there, Grabber?
That's it. He's not old in rally terms. Like, I'm still riding. I'm probably a little bit steadier with some of the metal in my back and that, but there's plenty of time for him if he decides to have a crack at any of it.
There you go, we're going to sign you up. So KTM, I mean, you've both had a really long, fruitful career with the brand. What is it about this bike that makes it so amazing in the desert and for off-road?
Well, I mean, it's the perfect bike for Fink. It's, you know, a 500. It's very fast, and we can set them up and get them working perfectly. You know, the WP suspension as well really helps, and the KTMs are just unbeatable out there. So you really, you know, 2 steps behind if you're not on that brand at Fink.
What do you think, Grabber? Why are they unbeatable?
Yeah, that's it. Like, I switched from one of the Japanese brands back in the day to KTM, and instantly pretty much went 10 minutes quicker each way, and it was easier for me to win at the time, and now I'm in a complete different situation where I just find them, they're a reliable bike, they're nice to work on. They basically are one of the easiest, even though they're going faster than most bikes in the desert, they're easy to ride. They're just, like Walshy said, they're a great package in the horrible elements we face out there.
So Fink is almost upon us. The King's birthday from the 10th to the 12th of June. Walshy, when do they start setting? Do they start setting in, or are you just beyond that?
No, I'm definitely packing some heat. But I mean, even thinking about it now, the more if I sit down and actually think about it, the nerves come on. So it's still, I'm a bit of a one-trick pony, and that's sort of the only event I do every year, and it's definitely makes me very nervous, and the weight will start shredding off real quick.
Totally, because I mean, I don't know, Grabbo, you can probably talk to this, but how many other riders do you know that raced one race a year but are still on the factory team?
Not too many, I'd imagine.
I think that shows how important Fink is. Like, during the years, that's been the case, is guys can pick up what we class as factory rides for one event of the year, so it shows how big and important Finke is to everyone.
Grabbo, you're racing Finke again this year, but the program looks a little bit different. You're taking some others with you. Tell us about the KTM VIP experience.
Yeah, that's it. I've got quite a busy program on my hands, but this is the first official year of the VIP race experience for me. So we've got like 7 guys signed up for this year. Basically what it is, it's an opportunity for anyone that rides a bike, for example you, Kate, next year.
Woo!
Rock up with your gear bag. We take care of the rest. It's I try to use all my years of experience on a race team to give riders and customers the same opportunity where they rock up. We have a KTM that's prepared what I class as nearly as well as the bike. Walsh is leading on up the front. And we take care of everything else. Fuel crews,
Wow.
feed them, ice bath at the other end if you're keen. Yeah, it's everything. It's the full factory experience. I know there's a lot of people that have loved to have that opportunity, so here it is now, and we do it for Finke and Don River and Kalgoorlie Desert races, and yeah, it's just a good opportunity.
Cool. So just jump online and sign up.
That's it.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Well, boys, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. It's been brilliant, and good luck at Finke.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
All right, coming up next from Honda Australia Factory Racing, it's Yarrive Konsky, and from ASBK, it's Max and Jamie Stauffer. Don't go anywhere. The action has been non-stop at Pro MX, and we caught up with Honda Australia Factory Racing Team Director Yarrive Konsky for a behind-the-scenes exclusive tour of their race weekend setup. I'm with Honda Australia Team Principal Yarrive Konsky. Yarrive, we are at your Pro MX headquarters for every round. It's a juggernaut. Tell us what goes into the logistics of setting something like this up.
First of all, we need people, and we've got a great number of team members that come every weekend. Unlike other forms of motorsport, we don't transfer everything into a garage. Some people don't see that everything takes place inside the truck and under the awning. So this literally is our place of business every weekend, from corporate hospitality to engine maintenance, suspension servicing, a place for the riders to be able to sit back and prepare between each race. So there's a lot going on, and when you've got a 4 and 6 rider team, when the women are involved, you certainly need room for them.
And how do you go about designing this setup? Do you draw inspiration from overseas? How is it different to the other factory teams that we see rocking up at Pro MX?
In the US, the trucks are designed quite different because they're only allowed 1 motorcycle a weekend. They bring spare frames, spare motors, so they literally have to build a bike out of bits if they have a problem. So the upstairs area, which I'll show you later on, has room for 12 motorcycles. The downstairs area is built so we can work inside there, but we can carry a lot of equipment. Literally, it is a workshop away from workshops.
We've got the 250 here and the 450. Tell us what the difference, what the fundamental differences are. Obviously there's horsepower, but what else is really different between the two 450?
So overall, the primary difference when you talk to a rider is sheer horsepower, torque, so how much bang you get when you go to accelerate, and a little bit of weight. And when you de-accelerate on a 450 to a 250, the weight and the torque, it changes the characteristics of how the bike will handle.
So what is the difference between a privateer's race bike and one of your race bikes?
The big difference between the two is the time we get to spend building the bike for the rider, and all riders are unique. So that's the luxury factory teams have, is that we have a full-time crew that go out with the riders daily and constantly work on improving the motorcycle or collecting data to help make it consistent.
All right, let's go in and take a look inside.
Cool.
The first time he'll ever be taller than me. Pretty clean in here.
Very clean. The boys are very meticulous.
Yep.
It's important that we don't make any mistakes. We don't leave anything to chance. So we'll change a sprocket generally at the end of every week, but we have service intervals in place on when we want to change a piston, a sprocket, how long we want to leave a chain on for, when we're going to do the bearings on the motorcycle. Everything on the motorcycle has a time limit. If we go up here, these.
Oh, boom.
Lunch is ready. Triana's been making lunch, Emma's eating lunch.
Good. This is where the bonding happens.
Up here is where we put up all the motorcycles, and we have all of the other equipment, the quite bulky equipment. We also bring the awning, it's in its own place. We also bring up the tyres, the wheels, our pit trolleys that we take down. Each rider, can't look through these.
Come on, I can see this is Webster's.
Yeah, helmets.
Oh, there's sus things in there.
Something unique about our truck is the upstairs viewing area. So I built this for the simple reason, if you come up here, Kate, you literally can see the whole track.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it gives us a great vantage point to look down and film from. There's certainly a lot of flags here, but we try and film from up here, and we'll give the riders the opportunity to watch post-practice, and hopefully we can pick things up that can help them be better prepared for race one.
So Yarrive, you've been a team manager, team owner, team principal for over 20 years with Honda. What's one of those moments or times in your career that really stands out to you?
In 2008, getting Honda's approval to take over and run their factory program, I feel honoured. It's definitely a real honour I don't take for granted, and everything post that opportunity being given to me, it's Christmas every day.
Can you bring home another championship this year? Your riders are at such a high standard. What is possible?
Yeah, definitely. Between the motocross and supercross championship, we're gunning for nothing less than a championship in every discipline. I mean, if we weren't, we shouldn't be coming to the track.
Great to see behind the scenes there with Yarrive, and don't go anywhere because coming up we have ASBK's Max and Jamie Stauffer. Another exciting weekend of ASBK racing, and some great speed was shown from our next guest. Please welcome GTR Motorstars racing team. It's Max and Jamie Stauffer. Boys, welcome to the studio, but let's quickly touch on your results from Queensland Raceway, because qualifying was P5 and the two P6's best results so far. You've got to be happy with that.
I was over the moon, 100%. I was pretty happy when I come in and found out that I was in 5th position. And then I felt really strong in the two races, being able to follow the front group and just learn a lot off them, you know. So it was definitely a big step in the right direction, and I can't wait to keep moving that forward.
Now, we'll get to more of your racing in a second, but Jamie, let's wind it back for you. I want to know about when you started racing. You're only 4 years old in the Curry Hunter region, racing amongst so many incredible riders and racers. What's in the water there, and what do you remember about racing alongside them?
Yeah, I mean, you know, back then we were only, there was no, you know, legends or, you know, world champions or anything like that. We're all just kids going to have a ride, and each meeting you turn up to, either dirt track or motocross, you'd have your Craig Andersons, your Chad Reeds, your Casey Stoners, your Ben Grabhams and Joel Elliott, and me and my brother, and there was a lot of riders. We just got out there and loved riding our motorbikes, and ended up turning into some pretty big careers for a lot of people.
Now, Max, how old were you when you started racing and riding?
I think I first hopped on a Pee-wee 50 at Curry, and I was about 7 years old. I'd go out and help a mate. He sort of got me into, you know, the junior racing, dirt track and stuff. I'd help him out in the pits, and one day I came home and I said, Dad, I want to go racing, and you know, didn't have to convince anyone, but I don't think he was the happiest bloke in the world.
Oh, amazing. That's so cool. Now, you were king of dirt track from 91 to about 99. How did the transition go to road circuit racing, and was there an immediate connection there?
Peter Goddard actually got in contact. Peter's father actually sponsored me brother in the younger years, and Peter got onto us and said you should give road racing a go, and got us a deal to buy a couple of RGVs, and we both got bikes at the same time, but I was doing a lot of speedway, dirt track and road racing.
And tell us about the double championship in 2006. Would you consider that one of your highlights?
Oh, for sure. That was one of the biggest highlights, because it was me my first Superbike championship. It was Yamaha's first ever Superbike championship, and there'd been a few people before do the double, but that was the last time the double's been done, so that makes it quite special as well.
Max, did you know kind of the scale and the level that your dad was racing at when you were younger? When did you realise, when did that click for you?
Yeah, in COVID I went back and, my mama, like grandma, I call her mama, she recorded all of them, and I went back from like 2004 and watched every single race right through to, 2020. And that's when I was like, you know what, it probably wasn't too bad. So that, I don't like telling that often, but it was pretty good back in the day.
And so you obviously were very successful here, Jamie, but also internationally. If you think back to the times when you were racing, what were the glory days? What period of your racing were the glory days?
I went to America in 2003, raced in AMA Supersports for a year. I raced in 2007, I raced my first Suzuka 8-hour with Norik Abe, with the factory Yamaha team. That was really cool.
Now, Max, you're one of the first to come through all the steps of ASBK, really. You started in the juniors, moved to R3, 600s, now Superbikes. How has that journey been for you?
It's been pretty cool, really. I remember getting a 150 for the first time and in 2017 and going to the track, and I sort of had no idea. I had a very upright sort of style and whatnot, but, it's been a quick, few years to get to where I am now, but it's been pretty hard and I've had to put in a lot of work. But no, it's been cool to sort of follow all the steps that ASBK has to get to the Superbike class, and I think, it is a good thing. GTR Motorstars, tell us about the team and your role in it, Jamie.
Yeah, so the GTR Motorstars is Heath Griffin. He started the team. I basically do all the bike prep, build the bikes and maintain them and crew chief them and all that. So it's quite a busy role, really.
So ASBK, how important is this championship for our future riders? What do you think, Jamie?
Yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, some people leave, go overseas at an early age. I believe the level here is high enough. Like the guys at the top of Superbikes here are as good as anywhere in the world.
Max, you went faster than your dad at a circuit for the first time ever. Did you lay it on thick to your dad or what?
Yeah, of course I did. It just, proves that I'm better than him, So, but no, it was pretty... It's sort of pretty special, really, as someone I've looked up to for a long time, and now that I'm better than him, it makes it even better. But no, it was pretty exciting times, and I think it just shows that we're moving in the right direction and getting a lot closer to the front.
Finally gone faster than me at one track, but they got even rubber tyres now. We had our wooden wheels, yeah. So I don't know, even, it's hardly a comparison, but no, he is doing well, and he's got a long way to go, but he's learning all the time.
Oh, we've got Darwin next. Are we pumped for Darwin, round 4 with the supercars? Max, tell us what we can expect and how thrilled you are to get up there.
I can't tell you what to expect, but I can tell you that I'm pretty excited and I really want to try and get closer to the front and start to, really battle with those front guys. I was hanging on to the back of them for a long time at QR, and, I just sort of want to try and, battle with them a bit more and, learn a bit more racecraft and just, get more experience with running up the front with those guys and just keep getting better.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on the show, boys. Cannot wait to see you go racing in Darwin. It's going to be great.
No, thanks for having us.
Thanks very much, and we'll see you up there, and hopefully the weather's good in Darwin.
Oh, it's always good in Darwin.
It is.
I reckon this is a pretty good time to check in what's going on in the Motorcycling Australia calendar. Sunday, May 28 sees round 5 of the Penrite Pro MX Championship presented by AMX Superstores head to South Australia to bump bars in Gilman. The Yamaha Australian Off-Road Championship presented by MX Store heads to Edenhope in Victoria for rounds 5 and 6 on the 22nd and 23rd of July. And finally, we go racing with the supercars in Darwin for round 4 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. head to the Pro MX and ASBK websites for all the details, grab some tickets, and I will see you trackside. A shout out to the fast and furious women competing on the international stage right now. Charlie Cannon continues to climb the WMX World Championship ladder with her best result, a P4 in Spain. AORC champion Jess Gardner is currently running in P2 in the World Enduro Championship and heads back overseas to Finland shortly. Finally, in some big news, the recently announced FIM Women's World Championship will run alongside the World Superbikes in 2024, creating an exciting new opportunity for some fast females from down under. Thanks for watching the AusMoto Show. We'll catch you next time.